Hello there and welcome. I'm Ole Brøgger, and if you're new here, I really hope I'll earn your subscription today. Today, it's another video about me upgrading my workspace. My workflow have changed a bit over the last months, and right here I'm building stuff, and I will still do that. I have my top cam up here, and over here I have my miniature painting station. But I need to rearrange it, so I will get the right tools for building and the paint over here. So we got a lot of stuff to do. Let's get started. This is how everything looks today. I have my preview monitor over here where I do my recordings. I have my stream deck to control, and right now I'm actually recording on this setup. This is okay and it works. I have all the stuff I need over here. When I work over on my table building stuff, I have most of my tools here, and some of the tools I use the most is right up here. And I need to rearrange all this stuff. The stream deck is too far away when I have to push the record button, building stuff over here. I need to cut this in half, make room for the stream deck around here, so I can reach it if I'm painting miniatures or if I am building stuff. The preview monitor will have to go somewhere up here, and I will have to make room for the keyboard and mouse. All the paints is going to be over here next to the rest of my paints. And then I will have some room for my miniature stuff in this side and all the things I need when I build stuff over here. First, I'll need to clean out everything. I need to empty my desk. I will try to reuse most of the stuff I already have and integrate it into the new setup. But I will also need to build something new as well. Now I'll try to make a mock-up and see where things are going to be in the new setup. I'll need to find out where my stream deck is going to be placed, because this is the centerpiece and I will need to be able to reach it no matter where I'm sitting. And I actually used my paint shaker a lot, and it was all too far away, and I want that next to my stream deck. And finally, the monitor has to be moved and be more centered. It will make it a lot easier for me if it's placed right here, especially when I'm doing my live streams on Twitch. And trying to adjust the face cam and see if that works too. Now that I have an overview where things are going to be, I can do some measurements. And then it's to the workshop. I have bought this 6mm MDF. It is 120 by 80 centimeters. I'll put it in feet here on the screen. I will have to cut it right down the middle. And back in the office, I tried to line things up and make some more measurements so I can figure out where things are going to stay. This will be the top plate for the elevated part of the setup, and I'll need to make some cuts. I cut out a couple of walls that will be the height of the elevation of the top plate. And I also made a couple of braces so it won't fall off on the back, because the bottom plate is not going fully all the way back. I just fastened them with some hot glue, and then I could put in a screw later. I also cut out a couple of holes in the front because I need to pull some wires through and the air hose for my airbrush. Now that I got everything where I want it, I can put in a couple of screws to make sure that everything will stay together. I also laser cut a couple of boxes that I will integrate into the setup. And these will be for storage like sanding sticks and Q-tips and pens and all that stuff. The thin one will be for my brushes, but I will change that later. Now that I got an idea of where things are going to be, I can install these boxes into the front. And the front wasn't screwed in. I made it easy to remove because I only tacked it with some hot glue. And this is how I imagine they are going to fit. The big box was a bit too long, so it couldn't fit in the right angle. I just sanded the bottom edges down and it was pretty easy to make it fit. And now I was pretty sure where things were going to be and everything was test fitted. I could actually use real wood glue. In some of my previous videos, people have commented that it wasn't a good idea to use hot glue for stuff like this. So I thought maybe I should make them happy and use real wood glue this time. I've also laser cut a part that I will install here to hold some of my spray bottles. And I also laser cut this part. This is for my paint water and wastewater for my airbrush and the airbrush jar. I used some 5mm dowels to raise it up, but the thin plywood was a bit wobbly, so I laser cut these triangles and glued them in. I used some filler to hide all the gaps and I sanded everything down. Now it's time to give it some paint. I used the cheapest matte black spray I could find in the local hardware store. I also laser cut some more parts for my paint racks. These are identical with the ones I previously made. The rack is now dry and I could start put in some stuff. But I didn't like the angle of my brushes. It was so hard to see the size of each brush. I just need them to be upright. And they were also a bit in the way when I was going to access my keyboard. So why not make room for them behind the keyboard? I laser cut some more boxes that I could integrate from the top down to the bottom behind the keyboard. I didn't want to ruin my paint job, so I had masked everything off and draw a line from where my keyboard would go and marked up where these boxes could go. I drilled a couple of holes and then I used my jigsaw to cut everything out. And the boxes was just snug fit right into the hole. I'm gonna have so much room for my brushes. I didn't want the boxes to go all the way to the bottom, so I put in some MDF that was the same thickness of the rest of the build to raise them up a bit. I think this is going to work a lot better. Let's remove all the masking and see how it looks. I also needed to clean up all the sawdust that was under the masking. I think this is a lot better way to store the brushes, and they just fit perfectly down here and they are not in the way for the keyboard and I can still reach them very easy. I can see their sizes. Thumbs up for that. This is my old paint and tool rack and I actually just broke everything down and reused it to build a side rack because I wanted all my paints to be elevated and I got some more storage space beneath it. Now there's almost no scrap left. I used the last to build a frame that could hold my laser cut part for my tools. I'm finally done and everything is put into place where I think they will go. I will probably change something during the way as I always do, but I totally underestimated how long a project of this size would take. I thought I could make this a one-day build. But I spent 2 full days building everything and the paint is not all quite dry yet, but it's getting there. And the music we are listening to in this video is made by a young guy called Zulunex. He makes some awesome electronic music and I will leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. But let's have a look how this finally turned out. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate you all being here, and if you already haven't done it, please hit that subscribe button, leave a comment below and give me a thumbs up. I'm ready to continue all my builds. We still have an airship and some other projects that I will be very happy to build in this new workspace. Thank you for watching and I will see you soon.